Hey there, welcome to Chapter 2 for the Power of Awareness. If you're new to this series, so are the rest of us. It's cool, we're just getting started. This is only Chapter 2, and since these chapters in the Power of Awareness are so short, we're just going to do a chapter video. And really with this one, I feel like I just want to read it and then say something at the end. We're going to go into things like self-concept, right? This chapter is titled Consciousness, and yeah, let's just go with what Neville says first, right? Hey, let's hang. It's only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more stately mansions, the manifestations of higher and higher concepts. By manifesting is meant experiencing the results of these concepts in your world. It is of vital importance to understand clearly just what consciousness is. Right? The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and the only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consciousness he has of it. Therefore, it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. If we accept the idea of a first cause, it would follow that the evolution of that cause could never result in anything foreign to itself. That is, if the first cause substance is light, all its evolutions, fruits, and manifestations would remain light. The first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolutions, fruits, and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be of a higher or lower form or variation of the same thing. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it must also be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects is really only the product of your own consciousness. Nature, then, as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind, must be rejected. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one, right? Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things, your consciousness. If you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams, in the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonisms, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work. Only your consciousness is operating. Difference does not consist in variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement of the same cause substance, your consciousness. The world moves with motiveless. My cat's having herself a moment in the bathroom. Pardonnez-moi. Listen, this channel is meant to be realistic. You know, it's meant to be like hangout sessions, right? So if we were in a video call, my kitty's going poo-poo. Except it's not a live thing, so I can totally edit most of that out. And you're welcome, because you good? She's so good right now. Where was I? What? Motiveless. Let me just start from there, okay? Because for real though, the world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifesting your concept, the arrangement of your mind. And your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent to as true. The rich man, poor man, beggar man, or thief are not different minds, but different arrangements of the same mind, in the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from its demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its molecules. A single electron revolving in a specified orbit constitutes the unit of magnetism. When a piece of steel or anything else is demagnetized, the revolving electrons have not stopped. Therefore, the magnetism has not gone out of existence. There is only a rearrangement of the particles, so that they produce. Now I'm just, fumbling because I know I'm fumbling. You know what I mean? Like, still human too. So that they produce no outside or perceptible effect. Let me do that sentence again, because goodness gracious, there is only a rearrangement of the particles so that they produce no outside or perceptible effect. When particles are arranged at random, mixed up in all directions, the substance is said to be demagnetized. But when particles are marshaled in ranks so that a number of them face in one direction, the substance is a magnet. Magnetism is not generated, it is displayed. Health, wealth, beauty, and genius are not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is, by the concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to as true. We came back around. There we go. What you consent to can only be discovered by an uncritical observation of your reactions to life. Your reactions reveal where you live psychologically, and where you live psychologically determines how you live here in the outer visible world. The importance of this in your daily life should be immediately apparent. The basic nature of the primal cause is consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate substance of all things is consciousness. So like, think about bullies, right? How, whatever people are complaining about, we're really just projecting all over the dang place, right? Even psychology is on our side for that one. But like, think about the things that people are really bullying about, especially if it's like biological stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do about this besides get plastic surgery? And even my cat says, nah, I don't know what she's doing. Oh, they're playing and hopping all over the place. They have a tendency, really what they're complaining about and pointing out other things that they're insecure about. So are they calling you stupid? Are they talking about your body? Any kind of weight comments, right? Things that like, what is the point of this exactly? Have a tendency to be what people tend to bully each other about, right? It's because deep down inside, that's what they're just putting their insecurities on display. So on the flip side of that, there are those who things are very inward. And then we're talking about things like depression. And so something that I wrote down after filming the previous chapter, I would like to go over now, if you don't mind, right? So when you spend a lifetime in depression and not wanting a future, and therefore not planning for a future, it can take a moment to learn the many ways that you can invest in a future, right? Because if you don't know it, then you don't know it. And that can really, now I got cat hair all over my face. So what did you throw into the air, kitty? So if you don't know things, to be able to imagine a better lifestyle or a better circumstance because you're just living in survival mode all the time, then how are you supposed to imagine it? How are you supposed to visualize it, right? It isn't only about saving money or having a good credit score, you know? It's brushing your teeth so they don't rot away, or making sure you're eating your meals and like nutrition, right? And even kitties, my goodness gracious, and even allowing others to like you and maybe actually get to know you, right? For those who, you know, we tend to be a bit reclusive and don't really put ourselves out there very easily and stuff, you know, those kindred souls out there. Sometimes we're not just keeping ourselves safe from like disappointment or heartache, right? Sometimes it's even from being liked by others, missed by others, and deciding to look forward to a future can be very different from relearning how to socialize. They can go hand in hand. They definitely can. I'm proof. Hey. You know, and actually allow yourself to be seen and heard, and you know, allow yourself to be authentic and vulnerable, right? So something that I feel like tends to be glossed over a bit when it comes to discussing manifestation and the law of attraction and such is how, you know, things like affirmations and meditation are a way of retraining your subconscious, right? Because like whether we like it or not, things like subliminals and repetition can have an effect on the human mind, right? That's why things like subliminals and meditation, it's kind of like taking the reins for yourself and going, okay, if I'm going to be affected by input that I'm receiving, then how about I choose the input that my subconscious is receiving, and you create new neural pathways and patterns, and you nourish them through these thankfully free resources like affirmations and meditation, right? And there are just so many different forms of it, right? So make sure you're not boxing yourself. The cat has taken some kibble out of her bowl and is dropping it on the floor and munching on it that way. She doesn't always do it, but she certainly is right now when you can hear a pin drop. Make sure to take the pressure off your shoulders, you know, and leave yourself some elbow room. Even if you have like a specific person or a specific job or a desired face and body and all these different particulars, like how do we even know if that's true to ourselves, or if it's just something that we liked when we were younger, before we began doing all of this healing and stuff, right? What if we were to meet that person or get that job and it's like, oh, actually, I changed my mind, you know? And that's okay, right? Leave that elbow room, you know? If this or 10 times better is how I like to put it. Like, it doesn't, I'm down for being wrong. You know, as long as I'm learning something better, I would much rather know facts and be able to share facts than just continue, you know, in my echo chambers and stuff with pure ignorant bullshit, right? But just really be cognizant of your mind and what you're focusing on, because that's what you're basically giving consent to, right? So let's just be cognizant of those things. Not only our words and what we're saying to others and how we treat others, but how we treat ourselves and what kind of patterns in our minds we're allowing. Because again, this is about taking that control back, that regaining our own sovereignty, right? Reclaiming it. If we ever lost it, maybe you didn't, high five, like it's all good. Like, you're welcome here. Everyone's welcome here. Let's talk, as long as it's positive vibes and we're respecting whether we agree with one another or not, right? It's for me, it's so many what ifs. I'm just full of them, like, what if? I mean, why? Like, and when I began reading The Power of Awareness personally, it really resonated with how I felt when I was younger, before all the indoctrination and stuff like that, right? Like, what came very naturally for me. And that's why I've continued on with it and stuff. And I feel like it played a catalyst in its own part in the catalyst of this change that occurred in my life a while back now. So yeah, thanks for hanging. I really appreciate the company, and I look forward to your thoughts and what this chapter, how it resonated. If it didn't resonate, it's cool. And yeah, I'll see you next week if you watch these as they go live. And otherwise, I'll see you next time, Peace.